Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to you today with an extremely heavy heart. An extremely heavy heart. And the fact that Sunday's marathon Super Mario 64 has come and gone, and Phil reached the goal. He reached the goal, and upon reaching that goal of $1,000, his little paywall, if you will, it's been revealed that the big surprise was a cat. Not Catherine, a cat by the name of Jasper. Jasper Burnell. Some call him Jasper the Clawless. So it's very tragic. Jasper the Declawed. It's a horrible thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not disappointed that there wasn't a child, and the fact that the child thing could still be in play. But even if that's not the case, I'm not upset by that. I am upset that this idiot screwed people out of $1,000 to present a cat. And then I'm not even fully giving you all the details, because in actuality, Phil walked away with his grand total was like $2,200, $2,400. I think it was like $2,200. He ended up getting $2,200 to present a cat named Jasper. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to be extremely blunt, so please excuse my rudeness. But why is it that every piece of puss that walks through that house has to be exploited? Panda, exploited. Catherine, exploited. Now Jasper, exploited. Why? Why is this the thing? Why is this the even flow? The expectation of Phil Burnell to take advantage of everything and everybody that ever steps into his life. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this opens up Pandora's box, if you will, of an amount of questions. Is Cat in on the scheme? Did Planet Jeff, who came in with an additional $1,000, was he in on the scheme? I personally think he was a contingency plan. He was there to make sure that the sub goal was hit no matter what. Was Phil's fan base, the initial fan base that was there for the actual fundraising, for the marathon with the $1,000 paywall, were they bamboozled? Were they cheated? It's a very interesting situation. Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and get in line. Go ahead and grab your drinks and everything, and so on and so forth. And then I'll go ahead and escort you guys to your table, and I can actually tell you what's on the menu for today. So it's been a sad day. It's absolutely sad. See you guys literally in just a second. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna try to be cheery about this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP Gaming. $1,000 to show a Jasper Burnell. The Beast declawed his cat in Madden on easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll just go ahead and get into the broadcast proper. I don't have too much to say about it. The declawing aspect of it is something that Phil is actually pushed on. No one actually had to, press him for information. He came out and admitted that Jasper's been declawed. He swears up and down, you know what I'm saying, from the gout in his toes to his chinny chin that he didn't declaw this cat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we actually get into you guys looking at your menus, before you guys go ahead and order, I'd like to go ahead and present something to you. Does Phil Burnell really come across as a humanitarian type of individual? Does he come across to you as someone who would put the well-being of this cute and cuddly cat named Jasper over the well-being of a bunch of junk that he has in his house, his words, not mine, that he couldn't sell because they're not worth a damn either which way? Do you really think Phil has the mental fortitude to sit there and deal with a cat that might claw up some of his stuff? Now, granted, he could get a scratching post for it. There are other ways of alleviating those situations. But do you really see Phil doing that? Do you really think Phil, and really Phil, because Catherine, I think she's not going to carry the which way, but because he's told us that Cat actually has an experience with cats and so on and so forth, it's the thing. Do you really think Phil would allow this feline to run around his house basically unchecked because it's a cat, it's going to do whatever it wants, and just let everything be clawed up in his home, and think that he wasn't going to have some type of precautions before doing so? Now, his story on this cat is extremely interesting. He was supposedly, Jasper is about a year old, possibly, well, between a year and a half to allegedly 2 years old. Allegedly, Jasper they've gone to multiple shelters, right? They saw Jasper month in, month out. No one would pick him up because he was declawed. And they decided, as a couple, husband and wife, that they were going to adopt this cute and cuddly cat. Now, here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. One, given the way the cat looks, the cat looks still relatively young. Two, we don't have an actual time frame on how long Phil has had this cat. Phil says he's had the cat since the beginning of the year. Some people even, I think he's confirmed that he's had it for about a year. So we're talking about back all the way in August of last year. Some say he may have actually had Jasper around the October, which, Tevin's fault, that failed Halloween marathon, the whole Bob Ross nonsense, whatever. The point is that he's more than likely had this cat for the last 10 months, if not a year. And so the cat was relatively young when it was declawed. Phil makes it sound like, he tried to make it sound like that the cat was declawed by the shelter. They don't do that. So then he tried to say, the previous owner did it. And Phil alludes that, when the shelter ended up receiving this cat allegedly that came from, I don't know, where, I can't remember where he said it came from. Something crazy. We'll hear about it in a second. That it was completely and totally healthy. It had all its shots, and yet they declawed it, and then decided to give it away, to put it up in a shelter, if you will, to abandon it. A lot of it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right at all. So, the first thing is, how long has he had the cat? 2, did he get the cat declawed? Does it seem rational that this man had Jasper Burnell declawed? 3, why the fuck did you put it behind $1,000 paywall? Why did you feel the need to hide a goddamn cat? This is what we've come down to. This idiot hid a girlfriend until the escort saga came up, because he didn't want to tell us about that right away. He just said he had something positive going on in his life behind the scenes. He didn't want to tell anybody. So he hid a girlfriend, then hid an engagement, then hid a marriage or a wedding. Now we hiding cats, bruh? And you think that he's not hiding a kid? Ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know what time it is. I need to go ahead and get into this. So while I have all this vigor in me, I need to go ahead and put it out there. I need to get this. I need to get some of this. I need to get some of this energy out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I'm feeling a little bit better now that I'm taking a sip of my SnortBucks coffee. SnortBucks, the coffee of failures. Every drop brewed with just a little bit of Phil Burnell's tears. The tears of aspiration, the tears of triumph, the tears of detractors, allegedly. But in actuality, it's just a salty, yet bitterly sweet taste of an individual who thought he was more than what he was. And you get to experience that in every drop. You never have to ever worry about failing, ladies and gentlemen, because you can have failure in your cup. SnortBucks coffee. It's the best part of waking up. I don't smell no bacon cooking. And I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, man.
Now let's play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Let's talk about.
As one would think. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, Dspgaming. $1,000 to show a Jasper Burnell. This beast declawed his cat in Madden on easy. Here we go.
The other reason I'm doing this stream, alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to raise funds via tips. I'm gonna have a goal that's reasonable, but I'm gonna have a goal that if we hit it, that there's a possibility of a tier 2 goal, alright, that's even better than hitting the tier 1 goal.
This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed for what it is. It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control. If we hit the tier 1 goal, there's going to be a huge positive reveal on the stream.
But I promised everyone there would be a big positive reveal if we hit.
Actually, let me go ahead and spoil this for you just a little bit. When it comes to the tier 2 goal, which he eventually later waves off and said there wasn't one, is basically Jasper will show up on the chill streams. I mean, you guys paid, well, meaning you guys as in his fan base, they paid $1,000 officially, but in actuality they paid about $2,000 plus for him. I guess it's only fair that they get to indulge in him on the slow streams because, excuse me, he's only going to use that cat to bring in more money anyway. Just like he tried to use Catherine before. It's just a thing that he does.
The tips goal for the day, ladies and gentlemen.
But there was no tier 2. There was no true tier 2 goal. Tier 2 goal. Sorry, there really wasn't one. It was just Jasper's going to show up on the chill streams. That's it.
If you can believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, I got someone I'd like you to meet. Come on up here. Come on up here, buddy. You want to come up here? Or you want me to pick you up? Someone who actually is not a new addition to the family. Someone who I'm going to introduce you to today, who has been a part of our lives for quite some time, in fact. Alright? And it's funny because with all the stuff that we've had to do, we've had to keep a lot of stuff private. Come on up here. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to our pet. Oh, he's playing with this. Oh, here we go. Here's our pet. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. This is Jasper, ladies and gentlemen. Jasper the cat.
Now, I want you to think about this, okay? As I'm drinking my my vanilla bean smoothie. It's fucking delicious, by the way. This idiot convinced people to pay him $1,000 for a cat. For a pet that they will only see on the night streams anyway. And not even a guarantee that you'll see him on all of them. This idiot right here... Actually, I don't know who the bigger idiot is, him or his fan base. But this idiot right here sat there and had a sub goal so they could play Super Mario 64. It's really supposed to be SpongeBob, but whatever, Super Mario 64. He said he's supposed to play SpongeBob next year when the remastered version comes out or whatever the hell that was. So it's a sub goal. He flips the sub goal into a marathon. The marathon now comes with the added bonus of being behind a paywall of $1,000, and you guys gave me $1,000 for me to show you my cat. But it's not a new cat though, like everybody was saying. Oh, it's a new pet. Oh, it's a cat we've had for quite a while. Quite a while, in fact. He basically passed off old goods as if it was something new. Because he's so stupid, he's so petty, that he doesn't want to come out and admit that, you know what, the cat is new because no one's ever seen it. Oh, well, it's not new to us. So why did you have to put the cat behind a paywall then if the cat's not new to you? And then he's going to try to justify it. This is what we've come down to. This is what Galtopia has come down to now. We putting puss behind $1,000 paywall. Oh wow! All right, let's continue.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh.
So here's the funny thing. You grabbed it. Here's the funny thing. You may have heard Jasper in the background of my streams because he has a bell on his neck, and he's been ringing this bell in the hallways for months and months. Basically, he's been a part of our lives for a long time, all right? In fact, before the wedding and everything this year. You know, a lot of people surmised, they were like, Phil, why is it
So, couldn't afford to get married, scared to lose his house, was able to get married, mommy and daddy paid for that, mommy and daddy paid for his taxes, mommy and daddy gave him pocket money, and he got a cat. He got a cat before him and Catherine got married. But he talked about being broke and that he couldn't do anything and he was scared of losing his house. He propagated that bullshit for months. That was the propaganda. And in actuality, he's had a pet all this time. Mister, I don't have any extra money. I'm overdrawn on my bank accounts month in, month out. I can't afford, we can barely afford anything, but yet he was able to afford a cat.
You needed to have a friend come by the house and kind of house it for you while you were in Connecticut to get married. There's your answer. You know, why don't I, during my chill streams, allow Jasper to be a part of the stream? How old is Jasper?
Wait, didn't you say the reason why you had people coming by the house is because you were worried about the detractors and the critics breaking in and vandalizing your home? Despite the fact that supposedly you live in one of the safer neighborhoods in the, even though he doesn't live in Seattle, he lives in Renton, in one of the surrounding area, and you live in one of the safest neighborhoods in the surrounding area, and that it's illegal to walk down the sidewalk in your neighborhood if you don't live there, but yet you had to have a house sitter. But now the house sitter was really to watch out for Jasper. How, and who paid for that? And who was that? Actually, the who doesn't really matter. But if you're having someone house sit, unless it's a friend of the, you know, of them, and Phil doesn't have any friends, who actually took care of the cat? And how much did you pay them? Because since Phil doesn't have any friends, I assume it was Cat's friend. If that's the case, do you see him letting someone that he barely knows walk around his home? I don't know. I don't know, Scooby.
He's just over 2 years old. We got him when he was between 1 and 2 years old. We got him from, okay, let me give you some background. Jasper is a short hair domestic tabby. That's his breed. And we got him from a rescue shelter. There's tons of rescue shelters out here in Seattle area. And we had been looking at them for a while, ever since Cat moved in last year.
Now, Snort Burnell brings up a good point. Did he actually, because not only was he saying, oh, we've gone to rescue shelters, but he said they also went to pet stores too. He's saying that our little friend Jasper there is just over 2 years old. He said that he's had him since before the wedding. He's had him before, they've had Jasper before the wedding, which, as you guys know, that was in April. More than likely, he's had Jasper for, like I said, 8 months, 10 months, possibly a year. So I'm starting to think that Jasper is not the age that he's telling us. But is it reasonable that they actually purchased Jasper instead of getting him from an actual rescue shelter? And the shelter is just, I don't know, some convoluted lie for something else.
We were going to rescue shelters to look for cats, and in particular, Jasper is a very unique story, alright? So first of all, he's actually not from here. He's from... Where did they say he was from? I think they said, like, Arkansas or something like that, like somewhere in the Midwest or something. He's not from this area of the country. But we don't know his full background story, but the weirdest thing, he's declawed in the front, which we would not have done if we knew that. And we were adopting a cat, we never would declaw a cat. We understand that declawing a cat is like basically cutting part of its hands off.
Wait a second. I'll say, cats that young don't come into animal shelters declawed. I know that because I used to work in one for over 15 years. You had that cat declawed when you adopted him and lied about it. Ooh. Oh boy. Well, that's an interesting piece of information there. Oh boy. Oh boy. And being that the cat's been around for a long time, he lied about why he needed an actual house sitter. He lied to his own fan base about getting married until he actually got married. I mean, it kind of falls in place. Jesus Christ, Phil. Is this really where we're going with this? Damn.
Alright, I've apparently exposed myself again. There you go. I've exposed myself again, guys. I completely exposed myself. There you go. I've been exposed!
Inja8089 cheered said, why do you feel you needed to hide this? This whole year, the tax situation, people would, again, just like they always do, they would have literally lied and made shit up. Oh, Phil's doing stuff because his cat needs an operation, so now he has to do a fundraiser for this shit, and that's, you know, complete bullshit fucking nonsense.
Actually, excuse me, he brings up a very good point, because didn't he say a couple of times over the last few months about him and Catherine needed to go to the doctor? Sorry, I'm just now starting to call her Catherine. Cat needed to go to the doctor? Snort Burnell might be right. He might have actually betrayed himself by saying that shit. And the thing is, though, too, is whatever example Phil throws out is usually what the actual truth is. And he tries to wave it off as a conspiracy theory or a lie or something along those lines. It's absolutely fascinating to live this way. Just be a completely and totally doing mental gymnastics day in, day out. That's insane that someone would choose to live this way. Just imagine you being so desperate not to get a real job that you'd rather lie to a bunch of faceless people day in, day out, and get mad when some of those people end up calling you out on your bullshit. Fascinating.
Complete garbage. They make shit up constantly about us, and that's why we kept him a secret for so long. Holy shit!
Didn't your dumbass say the exact same thing about the wedding too? That you needed to keep it a secret? Because you didn't want anybody going ahead and doing anything about it? You didn't want anybody doxing you like they did, like they were allegedly going to dox Leanna's brother's wedding? Remember that, Phil? Secret. Jesus Christ.
I think I just received a $1,000 tip. That gets us up to $2,013 of tips today. Whoa, Fernando just tipped me $50, so now we're up to $2,064. Holy shit.
Oh!
Benefit.
Oh!
Where we
Dude, what's hilarious is so many assholes are now in the stream chat, and they're so angry, alright, because, number one, I had a super successful streaming day, and
Now, I want you to take a really good look at this idiot. I know that's scary, so don't worry. I made sure to catch him when you're not having to look into his piggy little eyes. Okay? So, I want you to take a look at this guy. Does he come across as an honest individual to you? He's someone who lied about having a girlfriend, then lied about didn't say anything about having the girl being engaged to Cat, lied about marrying her, and now lying about having a cat. Now, I want you to think about what I just said there for a minute. He lied about having a girlfriend because, remember, he was going months and months in, what's that thing that Tevin likes to call? Oh, in his little blouse, right? He's talking about how cold he was because he couldn't put the air on, or the heat on, you know, because he couldn't afford it, right? Lied and said that he was lonely, said that he couldn't do anything for himself. He had all this depression going on, this, that, and the third. All a lie. He actually had somebody that he was actually talking to behind the scenes. Catherine ends up lies about that whole situation. Ends up moving her in, right? Moves her in, gets engaged, but doesn't tell us that they got engaged. But then gets married after telling us that he couldn't get married, he couldn't afford it, and now we got this cat. I repeated the exact same thing I said before. The point that the thing I wanted to point out is the fact that he never told us that him and Cat got engaged. So, with that being said, why did you even tell us that you guys got married? Why did you even tell us about Jasper? If he just pops up one day, he just pops up one day. Yeah, this is our pet Jasper. Yeah. And then let him scurry off. Or let him chill or whatever. But the key point of all that is he never told us that him and Cat got engaged. But he told us about everything else. Why? Why? Why did he tell us that they got married? Hoping to get clout and get all this positive recognition and then all of that money from that podcast when they ended up coming back a week later. Why is he revealing anything about Jasper? Oh, despite the fact that he was behind a $1,000 paywall, and then all of a sudden, let's see here, we're up there, then Planet Cuck and popped up and given up an extra $1,000 to bring us up to that goal. Why do that? Why bother with that too? I don't know. Some people would think that this was an inside job. Some people would think that this might have been a scam. Imagine that.
Too, because now I'm happy with the pet and people like the announcement of the pet, and these assholes, oh, see, you donated and this is what you got. What did you think it was going to be, honestly? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they wanted to hear some crazy life-changing event like Cat's pregnant or something. You know, that's what they wanted, so they could have more drama content. Oh no, what drama content can you make out of a cute cat? None. So now they're all pissy about it.
Really? Because I think you had that cat declawed. I think a lot of people think you had that cat declawed. That's a pretty inhumane thing to do. And you're just inhuman enough to do so. I think that's pretty good drama, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty good drama if one is motivated to do so. You really didn't think this out, did you, Phil? You really didn't think this out. Why is it that every time you do a big reveal, it ends up blowing up in your face? And on top of that, you keep doing it? How many times do people got to put your snout into the meat grinder for you to realize that maybe, just maybe, shut the fuck up? Did that ever cross your mind, even for a single second, that you're not good at what it is that you think you're good at? You're certainly not good at what you do. And maybe you need to stop. This is a detractor telling you this. This is someone who enjoys making content, making fun of your dumb shit. And I'm telling you, you should probably consider stopping. At least stop talking. I mean, you don't talk much anyway. Most of your fucking streams are dead air anyway. But maybe you should just stop talking. Maybe. But you can't, though. You can't. You need the money to come from these people in your fan base, these idiots, these cucks, whatever you want to call them. You need that. But then you need the negative attention that comes from the detractors too. It's a twofold thing. It's like double masturbation. You know all about that, Phil. I mean, shit, if Cat's not going to help you, you might as well go ahead and do it on your own. And you do have 2 hooves, by the way. I mean, come on, Phil. Like, I've had conversations with James the Lesser, Agent Proper, Ghostly Winds, G Money about this shit. Like, this is what you do. This is part of the cycle. Every year, right around the hardcore begging season, we go into one of these little drama things. Tevin points it out all the time. Praise be. And yet you still don't learn that you never walk out of this. Yeah, you're going to walk away with your little bit of money. Good for you. But then you have all these videos on you leading into the holidays. And then you got to perform piggy gay ops to try to see if you can take them down. You're just stupid enough. You're just stupid enough to be smart enough to get yourself into enough trouble. And you wonder why, long after all of the current detractors that are around decide to go ahead and put you away, that somebody else will come in and pick you up. It's inconceivable to you that you are your greatest detractor. You are your greatest enemy. And you won't admit it because you believe that you're winning, because you think you're living a lifestyle that you really want. But what kind of lifestyle are you living, Phil? You sit in your house all day in your gated little community and you play video games that you hate for people that you hate and disrespect. For a group of people that you would really rather have in your fan base, but you know you can never get them. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and divulge this theory to you. It's not a Theo theory. Certainly not as good as a Theo theory. But go with me. I've said this before. So, you know, and I talk a lot, so you know it is what it is. If Phil could trade his fan base, if he could give up Planet Jeff and all these other dudes, Golden Colts and all these guys, if he could give all of them up for the top 20 detractors plus another, oh, I don't know, 60 or 70 of his critics, he would, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because we're talking about individuals that are, 1, smarter than him. 2, that can spin his narrative, can spin the narrative for him positively or negatively. 3, who have money, because, you know, we all have jobs and shit, or careers, or both. And more importantly, are willing to front line for a cause, which is basically something that Phil doesn't have now. He has a bunch of people with money, or at least some type of disposable income, if it's not mommy's money, or disability money, or money from their widows, whatever the case may be. That's actually kind of pretty disgusting too, but it's Planet Jeff's money. He can do what he wants with it. If he could trade all that away to have detractors on his side, he would. And that's even worse, because in actuality, almost every move he makes is trying to convince detractors, trolls, haters, critics, whatever, to give up on all of this shit and actually see him the way he wants to be seen. He wants to try to convert them. Granted, though, most of the people who are in the detractor community, or trolls, haters, so on and so forth, used to be fans of his, or at least frequent watchers. So it would only make sense that he'd want some of those people to come back. He knows he can't convert them. He knows that he can't put them under the piggy psychosis again. But if they could be sympathetic to his cause, he would be okay with that. And that's even worse, to be honest. That you would be willing to downplay your own narrative for security, just like he did with Twitch. He gave up his freedom for security. If he could somehow form a truce with the detractors, he would literally give up the last bastions of his pride, and if he even has any of that, for the security that he believes the detractors provide. Well, not believe, they could if they wanted to do that. This is what he's resorted himself to. In the much bigger picture, I should say. This is just a way of thinking about it. Now, am I reaching? Am I thinking this out too much? That's what I do. But it's just a way of looking at it. He thinks this right here, for example, is a spat in our eye. Just like whatever that chick's name is. The one who beat the shit out of her Doberman, pinched her puppy, and spit on him and shit like that. I don't even know. That's a... I mean, if she was aggressive like that in the bedroom, I could understand that. But to do that against a defenseless puppy is disgusting. Either which way. For him to think he's winning with this is sad and is rather ridiculous. Because he really thinks he's pissing people off with this. He really thinks that he's winning with this. His fan base, at least some of them, thought that they were winning with this. He turned you guys into serfs. He weaponized you and he used you guys. And you guys cheer him for it. You praise these people, I should say. They praise him for it. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've never seen a group. Well, I've seen some really gullible groups out there. There's quite a few, especially if you've been on Kiwi Farms, you know what I'm talking about. But I guess maybe on a consistent basis, I've never seen a group of people be ravished like this. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen it outside of a religious sense, like what some churches, and we're not going to even get into that conversation. But outside of a religious cult type situation, I've never seen anything like this. And this idiot right here was able to perpetuate that. Amazing. Just fucking amazing. I'm almost speechless, but I'm not.
Oh, good. Fuck them.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
Here's a more. Oh, you lied to your fans and viewers for months. As I said, I have had to keep things private for a long time. Now, being an interactive streamer, people will sometimes ask me direct questions about stuff that I have to keep private. You're right, I'm not going to reveal every personal, private thing about my life on every fucking stream, right? So, you're right, I said I didn't have a pet for a long time until I was ready, until we were ready to do a reveal of it. So, that's why. It's for the protection of myself, my family.
The protection of yourself and your family. Who consists of your family? Jasper and Catherine? I mean, unless Catherine's pregnant, huh? It's your wife and a pet. I don't know if that actually... I mean... I guess that's subjective, to be honest. That's kind of subjective. I know some people that actually don't have any children because they've chosen not to for whatever reason. And they can say... And, it's the husband, the wife, and then a couple of pets. I might have to retract that statement. Let me ponder that, but I think I'm going to have to retract that statement.
Wow. I'm not obligated to tell you anything about anything until I'm ready.
Liquids first, it's always a concern. What about bills if the cat gets sick? It's always a concern. You're right, it's always a concern. And so, it is what it is. If the cat gets sick, we do what we can to take care of it, right?
What the fuck does that mean? You took on the responsibilities for something that you know you can't handle? And it is what it is, and if you can handle it, you can't, and if not, what, Jasper dies? Is that what it comes down to, Phil? If you can't pay bills, you're going to let the cat die. You're profiting off of it, at least right now. But if the cat gets severely sick, it swallows something, whatever the case may be, and if little Jasper the Clawless doesn't make it, then he don't make it. That what we're gonna do, Phil? That's what's come down to? Jesus Christ, you're a piece of garbage. You're a real fucking piece of garbage. And that goes back to what Snort Burnell's saying now. Either A, he really doesn't have any financial problems, which is what people are leaning towards. Or B, he's just a real human piece of trash. To be honest with you, both of them are rather fitting. Either which way, he's not going to win. And more importantly, eventually we're going to find out. And that's the thing that Phil is the most scared about, right, Phil? You're scared that one day, eventually, someone's going to figure out that you were never in any financial situation. You were never there was never a problem. And it's going to go back to something that I've said, where your fan base was nothing more than Galtopian welfare. You figured out a way to, as in your words, to game the system. And you figured out a way to weaponize these idiots to pay for everything. They're paying, allegedly, they're paying for your mortgage, they're paying for credit card bills, they're paying to basically run your business. You have them paying for those nice little days off that you and Cat have. Now they're actually paying for Jasper and whatnot. If he runs into a situation, he allegedly, you'd already used them to pay your taxes, the back business occupation tax. You convinced them to do that. They're serfs. They're literally serfs. They are financial serfs, and nobody over there has figured it out yet. Bravo. Bravo for convincing a bunch of people, who some of them probably couldn't tell their left from their right either which way, to go ahead and support you, support your lifestyle moving forward. The question is how long are you going to be able to do that for, Phil? How many more financial crises are you going to have before, they finally bottom out? I mean, for all you know, Phil, Cat's going to have to lose an arm or a leg before, some real money comes through. What are you going to do? Knowing that you have a group of people out here that literally turns you into a hobby and are willing to go over your bullshit with a fine-tooth comb. And you really think you're going to walk away from this unscathed? You really think you're going to win? See, if those people over there think you're winning right now, let them. It is what it is. Eventually, some of them are going to break ranks. You already had a couple mods that already did that shit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you'll lose more. I'm anxious to hear what a mod has to say about this nonsense now. But you've already lost some mods over some bullshit. That whole wedding thing was a good example. What's going to happen later on down the line? What are you going to do when more and more of the fan base decides to dwindle? Because you want to be a fucking idiot and bleed them for every last thing. It's not even, at times it's not even funny anymore. I'm not mad at it. I expect it from you. I expect you to do stuff like this. And the thing is if Cat is pregnant, what are you going to say about that in a couple months, buddy? What's going to be the story then? You got your little $2,200 off Jasper. What are you going to do when Catherine finally comes out and is pregnant? Or is about to deliver? Or whatever the case may be? Then what? Or what if she ends up getting really sick? Then what? What's going to happen when you really need the money? You really need the crowdfunding. And there's nobody there to do it because none of them trust you. Amazing. DSP News.
There's never going to be an ideal time to get a pet for us, ever. Because of my situation financially and everything, there's never going to be an ideal, perfect time. We actually do have pet cat insurance that came with him when we got him, and I believe we extended it for the year. I'm not 100%.
So, yet again, financial straits, about to lose the house, have all these overdraft fees, yet we can afford to get insurance. So, I mean, at least Jasper is safe for a little while, but we can afford insurance, though. Wait a second. But keep in mind, though, ladies and gentlemen, this comes from the same idiot who pays for health insurance each and every month and doesn't go because he says he can't afford the actual treatment. But they have cat insurance for Jasper. Can he actually afford it if Jasper needs to go to the doctor? He keeps telling us he can't afford to go, but can he afford it if Jasper goes? And having a pet, especially if a cat or a dog or whatever ends up getting sick or whatnot, has to get an operation, that shit gets pricey. Oh, I don't know.
Covers or whatever, but it was very inexpensive.
Fuck you. You're lying.
Actually, sorry about that. I missed that. But Snort Burnell brings up a good point. Having the insurance and whatnot, that must have helped with the cost of that operation, and more importantly, the treatment and physical therapy that would come later on. Oh boy. Oh boy.
King of Hypocrisy Cheers says, people have asked for ages if you're going to get a pet. How can we trust you if you're going to lie to our faces about stuff? Same thing with the wedding. King of Hypocrisy, if you don't understand that protecting myself and my family is more important than being 100% transparent with my viewing audience who's here to watch me play games, then I will never convince you anything.
1, good shit, the King of Hypocrisy. 2, if your audience is there to watch you play games and have fun, why do you keep bringing them into your personal life? And doing that, I mean, telling them about your bills, telling them about your taxes, telling them that if they don't support you, that you wouldn't be able to continue doing what you're doing. They're as invested as anybody. I might call them jerks, or, well, not jerks, but I might call them idiots or cucks or whatever I call them. But you're the one that put them in this position and made them invested. Well, some of them I call that. But you're the one that's made them invested. So you can't run to them 1 minute and say, give me money or I'm going to disappear and never come back. And then hide what little shit you want behind some stupid ass paywall because you think people give a shit about your fucking cat. And they're going to fucking break into your house to string your fucking cat up. Goddamn.
Like, you have to be a mature adult to understand that the protection of myself and my family is more important than just telling you 100% truth every time someone asks a question. That's stupidity. Oh, Phil's a scam.
Yes, it's stupid. Give me money every day and don't expect me to tell you guys the truth because I'm going to have to protect myself at all times, so expect everything to come out of my mouth to be a lie. But make sure you give me all your money, though, because I need it for reasons that I can't tell you about. And if I do tell you, it's more than likely a lie. But I'm doing it to protect myself so you understand. So, yeah, give me money. And don't ask no questions. If not, I'll have to lie to you. By admission. To protect myself. And my wife, Catherine. And my cat, Jasper. That'll be all.
And Phil took the money.
That's an immature feeling of black and white. And if you don't understand the difference that the world's not black and white, I can't help you. Sorry, but that's just your own shortcomings, not mine.
This is coming from the same idiot who just realized that the world isn't just black or white a couple years ago. But you want to chuckle at someone's shortcomings and you live the majority of your life like that. The majority of your YouTube career. Hence the reason why there's a Detractor community around you in the first place. And you want to talk about other people's shortcomings. Nice one.
They never have an independent thought in their fucking head. These people are the definition of sheep. And that's their life. What a great contribution to the planet when all you do is believe what you're told constantly and you never actually actively seek out any kind of truth. It's lame, but the problem is there's tons of people like that.
Madden playthrough. Now,
here's the crazy part about that. He blatantly told them to don't trust anything that people tell you, including himself. And if something doesn't seem right, ask questions and work out the situation on your own. And no one picked up on that. It's funny how when he applies this logic to other people, people will run with it. When it comes to him, everybody's under pignosis again and no one gets anything. That's amazing. And then these same individuals get mad at fucking detractors and shit on Twitter and then immediately retreat once the smallest bit of common sense is thrown their way. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And yet, in some ways, and I can see what, and if you're following anybody on Twitter in particular who's in this sphere of gout, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of sympathy on the detractor side of it for some of these people. A lot of it. I think personally some of it is misplaced in the fact that these are the same people who will leave Phil's side and then run back to him at any given time. That's just me. History tends to repeat itself, and we've seen that mod in, mod out, but, you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of really good people on the side of the fence. And yet, look at how they're used, and look at how they react to being used. And they really think, excuse me, and they really think that they're out there doing something. They really think for their pagan savior that they're actually doing something worthwhile. It's a scary thing, man. It's a really, really scary thing. And then Phil gets mad and tries to play off that I don't have the influence that other people have. What he's really saying is he doesn't have the money. And he doesn't have the media clout. All he has is the worshippers. Nothing else. And that just puts him on the fringe. Because it makes it seem like he's a nut. Because he's followed by some of these people who are kind of nutty. He doesn't have any real clout. He doesn't have any real legitimacy, which is what he's always wanted. Because he believes legitimacy is power. But he doesn't know how to wield power. He can't even wield finances. He can't even wield financial power. What's he going to do with real power? I'm not one to loosely use the word or use the phrase born to fail. But if nothing else, Phil Burnell was born to fail. For whatever reason, his mind hasn't caught up to the rest of his body.
Regards to Madden 20, I played 2 major sessions of it, roughly 8 hours of the face of the franchise mode, which is basically the story mode this year, alright? I really need your guys' feedback on how to proceed with this playthrough.
Part of it is
Moonwalkman, I'm playing on whatever the default difficulty is. I don't know what it is. I didn't touch a thing. I just started it's called the face of the franchise mode, which is the story mode this year. I'm just playing it straight up. I have no idea what the difficulty level is. I'm just going with the default, so. Why they would put rookie as the default, I have no idea, but apparently they did. I am going to check after the game ends. I don't know how to do it during the game, but I'll check after the game ends. Dude, you know it's got to be rookie. There's no way.
Rookie, I knew it. I told you guys. There was no way that was pro.
Wait, he said he has no idea how to check, but I'm going to check after I'm done with this. Yet he lies about the dumbest shit. He lies about the dumbest shit. Oh man. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's not even. I'll even. You know what? I'll let him pass on that. Because he plays most games on easy. To be honest. He plays most games on easy. So who cares? Let him keep his training wheels.
That was way too easy to be pro. I mean, I could try to go pro next game, but watch us get destroyed. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. How about that?
I'm the worst gamer on the planet.
Dspnews can build a run as well.
Caught it! He dropped it!
Combination of holding the point of attack and also getting.
That's bullshit. How is that my fault? He dropped the pass.
The better a route runner you are,
the runs do nothing now. The runs are completely pointless.
Guys,
welcome to pro, bitch.
0.
Because he can try it while it's in the air. That's exactly what
catch it!
Did.
Yes! Fumble!
And the Redskins scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football.
Okay, fuck you. No.
Oh, you're gonna get salt. It's even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
It was a perfect completion. He caught it, and then he fucking games his fumble. Fuck you. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
If he didn't get called out for the game being played on rookie, or axed if it was played on rookie, he had never checked. He never would have done a thing about it. And then the fact that he sat there and said, it's on the default, man. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I swear to God, I didn't do anything. I don't even know how to check. All right, I'll check after the game's over.
I'm not. Bullshit. I'm not doing bullshit. I work my ass off, and the asshole fucking fumbles it. Fuck off.
Over 1,800 milligrams of sodium.
I work my ass off for the completion. He's wide open, catches it, random fumble. Fuck you. And that's the problem with pro mode. Pro mode will just do stupid shit to fuck you over. Oh, random factor. He had Butterfingers that day and he drops the ball.
Yet again, this is all the proof that you should need that he purposely put it on rookie. Period.
That's not fun. That's seriously not fun.
This early on, this is not fun. This isn't fun. It's work. That's what they made it. The game is work. It's not fun. It's work.
And so, do I keep playing it on rookie and have a chill time and just interact with you guys and basically treat the streams much like I treated MLB for a good 4 or 5 months? Or do I go on pro and frustrate the fuck out of myself to the point where I probably don't want to play the game anymore? You see? Or is there a better option? Maybe there's a better option. I don't know. That's why I'm kind of appealing to you guys to try to figure out, you know, what is the best option? Because I don't know. Cringe fan tipped me $1. Are you afraid that Mixer's gonna become the top streaming platform after all the years you made fun of it when Ninja and other Twitch streams are joining its relevant site now?
Yes!
As I've said earlier this week, it's actually quite good that Twitch is getting competition. Because YouTube streaming...
Jesus Christ, he did walk that back already? Let's see here. Yeah, the whole Ninja one was only a day ago. Like 2, really. Wow, he's already walking that shit back. Calling Ninja an idiot. Going over the Mixer was gonna ruin him. This, that, and now we're gonna walk it back and call it competition. He definitely got that off Twitter also, because a lot of the same people who were running around crying about Ninja leaving are now like, well, it is actually a pretty good thing that that Ninja made that move, because now it forces Twitch to be better, and Mixer isn't as bad as we thought it was, this, that, and the third, because now people threw hard information at them, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to change they tune. So of course Phil, being a follower, is going to do the same.
Was never major competition for Twitch ever. It never got the attention like Twitch did. It doesn't have nearly as many features as Twitch does.
Despite the fact that they copied some of the features, if not most of the features from Mixer.
I'm happy that there's a third-party website here that's actually going to compete with Twitch, because competition leads to improvement and leads to benefits for everybody. That's the bottom line. When you have options, okay, that makes things get better.
And by the way, I'm just going to say...
Not necessarily. He's right, but the thing is, Phil has no options. Think about how few people followed him from YouTube to Twitch. Sorry. From YouTube to Twitch, then back to YouTube, then back to Twitch again. Because this is his second time back on the platform. Look at how few people he has. Now, how many of those individuals are really going to follow him over to Mixer, to be honest? We're talking about a whole new plane, a whole new platform, and a whole new group of people that they can actually experience and interact with. A whole new, and more importantly, a fresh start for people who are known to being basically serfs for Darkside Phil. They can literally go over to a whole other site and start over. Do you really think it's worthwhile? Really? Really? It's not like any of their sub badges or any of that shit's gonna transfer over there with them. Just saying, everybody starts over there clean. Do you really want to start your clean slate going back down the same old road of failure, of regret? Do you really think some of them are going to do that? That cuts whoever he has over there currently in half, and he can't afford that.
Say this, since you all want to repeat Detractor memes in the stream chat, it's not $1,000 for news. You're an idiot if you say that. It's not. It's a big positive reveal. It's not news. I'm not going to just say a snippet of news on the stream if we hit the goal.
I mean, you're lucky they didn't ask for cats nudes. So, I mean, it is what it is. You could give them pandas. It's not like you haven't showed those before.
You're completely moronic.
Well, at least are partial nudes.
Saying that and repeating that dumb Detractor meme, put a fucking brain in your head between your two ears and stop just repeating and parroting what dumb shits say to try to make things sound bad. It's not. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great thing. That's why I've been building it up all week. All right. Unleash the beast. Toxic. Oh.
So, I'm just going to forewarn everyone, cut that shit out, because no one's going to be immune if you just keep repeating, oh, $1,000 for news. Yeah, so you're a 4-year-old who repeats what dumb shit say because they want to downplay something that's very exciting, right? Okay, well, fuck off. And if you're going to keep repeating it, you're not going to be here anymore, okay?
I'm just going to ban.
Well, there you go. This is pretty funny. A troll tipper tipped me $1 and said, I'm watching the illegal Detractor restream of your stream, but I'm going to tip you anyway for the positive announcement. Continue being entertaining. Well, there you go. Now, here's a case of someone. They're watching someone else illegally restreaming me, but at least they're contributing. So I guess it kind of evens out. I guess that if that's the case, then that's fine. I'm actually okay with that.
Wait. Okay. Now, it depends on who's actually restreaming them. But if we're talking about that fiend, that supervillain Tevin, right? The criminal, the one that needs to that should go to jail, for illegally restreaming you. You're okay with watching his streams, which is going to push that terrible, horrible propaganda about how much of a terrible person you are. But as long as they willing to come back and cuck out to you, it's all right. Huh? Now, you do realize that in the long term, that's only going to fuck you in the end, yeah? So take your little dollar or two and be happy with that. But at the end of the day, let's say they give Phil 10. They might be giving one of these guys over here 20, maybe even 30. You really think you're winning as long as you get your little payoffs? If that's the case, then no one should show up to his stream. Yeah? Watch somebody else restream it. Tevin, LSB, or Dark Dave Mirrors, and just throw him bits. If he says he's okay with it. And apparently he doesn't give a fuck, because what it sounds like to me is he doesn't give a shit about your viewership as long as you give him money. Oh, I mean, maybe he should clarify.
Big man, big balls, tipped me $1 and insulted me because he says that people should be raising money for mass shooting victims. All right, the bottom line is you're right. They should be. You know, this stream that I was gonna do was already planned all week. You know, I'm not gonna completely change everything around. Because of these bad things happened. If there are other streams out there, right, that's like saying, well, don't watch Evo either because there were mass shootings. You should be watching a stream that's a fundraiser for mass shootings. Okay, so cancel Evo, right? No, you know, life goes on. It sucks that these things happen. It's terrible. It's horrendous. Obviously, no one supports it, and everyone wants this thing to get better. But I certainly don't have any control over it, right?
Wow, it's the most base immorality you can have as a human. Absolutely zero self-consciousness or morality, to having no feeling of remorse, being a sociopath, right? And you have no feeling of like, man, that's kind of wrong inside of you. That's who these people are, all right? And they will be doing this over and over and over. Yeah, you know.
That is really messed up, because didn't Boogie do some bullshit where when 9/11 happened, he was mad that people weren't going to his porn site or some dumb shit like that, or wasn't using his like adult link or whatever crap that that was going on when 9/11 was going on? And I mean, look at Boogie now. So yeah, I guess that's a thing.
I'm never going to change in that regard. I'm never going to change in that regard. People come in here and they want to insult and they want to derail. I just think of the lunacy of this. Oh, Phil had a stream plan to raise some funds to help him out financially behind the scenes. There was a couple mass shootings, so now let's shame Phil. Shame him. As if he's somehow related to the mass shootings.
It's not about being related to the mass shootings, it's just showing some human empathy. That's all. That's all you have to do. A moment of silence is probably more than sufficient. That's all. And you can't even bother to do that because you're too stupid to read the room. Just saying. It's funny how Mr. I want to talk about everything that's trending on Twitter don't want to talk about everything that's trending on Twitter. Feels bad, man.
You use the mass shootings, which are a horrendous action, as some kind of ammo to weaponize that against Phil. Think about how disgusting and how immoral you have to be to weaponize mass shooting deaths against a live fucking gaming streamer. That's the definition of a drama queen, seriously. Think of how disgusting and nasty that is, what a corrupt, disgusting person, toxic person you have to be on the inside to do that kind of shit. Those are the kind of people that hate me. So, oh well. Really fucked up, huh? Burn in hell, Burnell. And now I'm gonna burn in hell for the rest of eternity because of it. You can't change who you are, I guess. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.
I think I'm always trying to pick a new point to jump in at. I feel like that's a good point there. Alright, let's go ahead and try to reset this mood for a minute. Oh boy, that was ugly. That was very, very ugly. I gotta tell you. Here, let's finish off on this one. Let's see here. There we go. Let's finish off on that. Alright, so that was ugly. That was really, really ugly. The mass shooting thing, it's whatever. It's not happening to Phil, and if it did happen to Phil, he would be begging and pleading for people to give him money because of reasons. So that kind of is what it is. He's someone who sat there and used his cat as a way of drawing idiots into giving him $1,000. Well, 2,150, whatever. You really think he gives a fuck about a mass shooting? No, not at all. So it is what it is on that. Let's see. Did he get Jasper declawed? It certainly it feels like it. I'm pretty convinced, to be honest with you, that he did so. That story just doesn't hold up. It really don't. It does not hold up. And the fact that he's already lied about the cat. You're telling me he wouldn't lie about the things he's done to that cat? Let's be honest. And as you saw that one tweet, there are 10s, 20s, 30s, 30. There's hundreds, almost, not really hundreds, but there's a couple hundred different tweets talking about that. There are parts. I actually think there's a thread on Kiwi Farms that's about Jasper that goes into that even deeper. It's an ugly situation. Whether he did it or didn't do it, I mean, I guess you kind of have to go by a moral judgment. We'll never really know because he's let enough time go by that no one would ever be able to prove it unless you could find the animal hospital or veterinarian that's in his area that would have the records for that. That's not only, but that's one of the best ways to figure that out. But you would have to literally narrow it down, and then you call each and every one of them until you get the information. Not dog whistling or anything. I'm just saying that's a way. If I was to go ahead and sniff that out, I would go about it. Just saying. But that seems like one of the surefire ways of trying to find out. It's not guaranteed, but it's a good way of going about it. I wish Jasper the best. I mean, being that he's gonna whore that cat out. Like I said, why is it that every piece of puss that comes through that house is exploited? I don't understand. It's like he's running his own brothel. It's horrible. It's absolutely terrible. But what are you gonna do? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, that is the reality. Actually, here, give me just a second. That's the editor. Alright guys, so anyway, that's the end of that. We'll just have to see how this story plays out moving forward. I feel like it's not going to end well for Jasper, but hopefully there's some type of resolution, and I feel like we'll find out more and more about this story going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. This is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Networking Productions for the Snort Report and for SnortBucks Coffee. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. End the broadcast. Oh boy.
Phil had a stream plan to raise some funds to help him out financially behind the scenes. There was a couple mass shootings, so now let's shame Phil. Shame him. As if he's somehow related to the mass shootings. Shame him and use the mass shootings, which are a horrendous action, as some kind of ammo to weaponize that against Phil. Think about how disgusting and how immoral you have to be to weaponize mass shooting deaths against a live fucking gaming streamer. Think of how disgusting and nasty that is. What a corrupt, disgusting person, toxic person you have to be on the inside to do that kind of shit. Those are the kind of people that hate me. So, oh well. Really fucked up, huh?